Okay, this is the update that you've been waiting for, Bengie's big surgery and the complications that followed. If you're a bit squeamish, this video might not be for you, but please do take a second to drop a like on the video, help boost him in the algorithm, and send a donation if you can. Bengie's vet bills are currently up to £9,200. That covers everything from surgeries, blood tests, epilepsy medication, medical diet food, you name it. This is your last warning to click off the video if you don't want to see surgery wounds, okay? Okay, let's get started. On January 3rd, 2025, Bengie had a big surgery on his right buttock, right on his thigh. There was a big open space inside where the tumour was, which is why there's drains there to get rid of any excess fluid. Underneath the skin, the tumour was bigger than the vet anticipated, and they had to take a lump of his thigh muscle away to make sure that they got good clear margins all the way around. But the vet was successful in doing that, which meant that he was cancer-free. He understandably had a pretty rough night. We put puppy pads everywhere because his drains were leaking, and the next day he went back for a post-op check. His vet was quite happy with it at this stage, although she said as it starts to heal and the skin starts tightening up, the wound might start to break down in the middle. Once he was on the operating table, she'd had no choice but to stitch quite close to his bottom, and it had altered the kind of shape and position of his anus. For a few days he was bruised and swollen and sore, struggling to go to the toilet, but he was so brave and so good when we were cleaning it. On day 5, the drain was removed. Once again, he was good as gold, happily taking his kibble, although I put my leg between him and the vet in case he decided to turn around, but he never did. And voila, the drain was removed. It was all hands on deck. Bengie's foster mum was sleeping on a camp bed on the living room floor, and when he was up all night and she really needed to catch up on sleep in the daytime, her sister would come round to watch Bengie so that he was never unattended. 2 veterinary nurses joined his wellbeing team, including Lexi, who came out to his foster home to help us clean his wound, and he spent a lot of time in and out of the vets. Getting him there was also a team effort. We'd like to thank Lynn and Janine for giving up their time to help us do that. He had a great team and a solid care plan, but unfortunately the wound did break down in the middle. His vet did everything to try and get the infection under control, including syringing Hibby Scrub into the wound, but nothing worked and he had to go under surgery a second time. This is us on the floor of the consult room, trying to help him feel sleepy after he'd been given the sedation, but it did take a good while. After some extra drugs, the surgery commenced. The skin was just pulling so tight. He needed all of that top skin removed so it could heal by secondary intention, which means not stitched together. We were anxious to see what it looked like, but we'd have to wait till the post-op check the next day. He woke up from surgery in the room with his foster mum. Sleepy boy, isn't you? But yeah, as soon as he gets up, we can pop him in a car, take him home. He's got tramadol, he's got metronidazole, more Sinulox, more double the dose of paracetamol he was on before, but he's on the top dose of GABA that he can have. We were just worried sick about him, hoping this would be the last surgery, but unfortunately, it wasn't. His exhausted foster mum was up with him all night. We lifted him carefully onto the sofa and he just didn't want to move until the next morning. He was leaking through his bandage and we had to get back to the vet for the moment of truth to see what was underneath it.
But all of this is healthy granulation tissue, basically. So the wound's kind of been doing what we wanted it to do, it's just the skin on top has not.
Okay. So like his vet said, there was some healthy granulation tissue underneath, which is what we want. It was the skin on top that had pulled too tight and was breaking down and had been removed. So overall, this was not terrible news. What was terrible news was that the swab results came back showing that he had E. coli in this wound, most likely due to his new wonky anus. His foster mum called me in the night to say that the bandage had been coming off around the edges, so she'd put some tape on there, but she needed me to come round and give her a hand. Yes, I did go in my pyjamas, but we're at that stage now. So here's my lovely makeshift bandage, add some vet wrap. We were all pretty worried that this was going to be the start of a long journey of trying to keep this dressing on because it was in such an awkward place. We got on a video call with Shakira, a vet nurse with 15 years of experience, who advised us to request loop sutures around the edge to tie the bandage onto, with these photos as a reference. The next morning, his vet redressed his wound, but the bandage fell off again. So the day after that, he was sedated to have the suture loops that Shakira had recommended. Thank you for still being here and watching. We've got a little way to go yet. So Bengie woke up with his foster mum in the room again. This is the most fear-free way we can do it. He's got horrendous separation anxiety. By the next morning, he'd soaked through his bandage, so he was back for another dressing change. As you can see around the edge of this photo, there's little stitches to tie the bandage on with, and this was helping to keep it in place. This was Friday, and we were instructed to leave his dressing, rest him, and bring him back on Monday. But we were very concerned over the weekend and made the decision to call the out-of-hours vet and request a referral to a soft tissue specialist at a specialist hospital. The out-of-hours vet was concerned that he might need a leg amputation and did agree to refer him. So we set off for Dick White Referral Centre in Cambridge, where he was hospitalised from Monday through to Friday. His foster mum we set up in an Airbnb near to him, and I went off to settle Maggie into her new home. Keep an eye out for Maggie's video diaries and join us back for part 8 to catch up with Bengie.